Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network, for the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews. Press 1. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Marvel Movie News, bringing you the most up-to-date discussion and commentary within the Marvel Universe.
Excelsior to you, our merry Marvelites! How was that? Did I do it good?
It's good.
Am I excited?
Good. I think you're excited.
People tell I'm excited. Not even Doctor Strange news today. I'm still
Just
excited.
underslept excitement.
You're just excited to be back.
Yeah, I had to get my fiance Brittany to the airport by 5:30. So
I find the less I sleep, the more energy I have. I don't know why. And then I crash one day, but then I'm back again.
yeah,
I try to do the 4 hours.
I'll probably crash at your show tonight. I'll probably fall asleep halfway through.
Oh, dude, it's a pretty crazy
asleep.
show.
Good.
Tomorrow
Right
you'll
now.
have a coma. Tonight we'll keep you up. I promise.
All right. Well, welcome back to our 36th show of the year. I've lost count. I'm saying
Just-
36,
I don't
but it is
know.
56 in all. I do know that it's
Really?
56 in
Oh,
all.
good.
I do know
People
that.
have been contesting it all over the internet.
Really?
It's
And by all over the
a
internet, I mean our YouTube.
yeah.
All over it.
Really?
Yeah, they're
I
like, it's
haven't looked.
54, 55, and it's like
I don't know.
Whatever.
life-changing numbers.
Yes, yeah. We are the Marvel Movie News, coming to you live from the Danger Room, where we tell you all the news from all the studios and why you should be as excited as we are. Subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News, or find us through the Popcorn Talk Network, YouTube/Popcorn Talk Network, or on their website, PopcornTalkNetwork.com.
.com.
.com, not .gov, not .edu,
Not
not
.com,
.university.
.co.
.com.
That is not.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope, it's
Just
not
.com.
.co, .edu, Great Britain, whatever.
XXC.
Follow us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN, or on Facebook /Marvel News Show. Follow us, like us, leave comments. We're doing our best to get to all of them. Also, if you guys tweet the link to our live show telling people that they should join in the live show in the chat, John in the booth will retweet you.
Yay.
Hello, John Arvis.
Yar.
Yarp.
Not the Marvel Pirate Show. What was that?
Yarp. That was from
Yarp.
that's from Hot Fuzz. Yarp.
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 I've been watching a lot of Venture Brothers, so he just sounds like the pirate from Venture Brothers.
That's the greatest. Like, until Rick and Morty came
Yeah.
along, Venture Brothers was the greatest show on television.
Yeah, so real quick, to deviate, Greg and I are super late to the Rick and Morty train, so we
Oh, man.
binge watched all of 2 seasons in a
Oh,
week.
wow.
And we're like,
how could you not?
I know, and we're like, hey, so what show is like Rick and Morty, because we need our fix? I'm like,
Yep.
I haven't watched Venture Brothers in a while, and I never actually watched season 5.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we
so
went,
fun.
rewatched season 4 and watching season 5 right now. So, anyways, back to Marvel.
Yeah, and by the way, they're correcting me in the chat. I said Danger Room, and we're calling ourselves
Yes,
Nowhere now.
we're
right?
Nowhere.
Yeah, because we moved studios. We're now Nowhere.
We're in our lovely faux brick wall studio of nowhere.
Yeah.
I just keep waiting for the Hulk and or Kool-Aid
Kool-Aid
Man
Man.
to bust out of here.
Or for both, like Green Kool-Aid Man to bust through and be oh, smash!
Oh, smash!
Oh, smash! Anyway, I'm Matt Key at the Matt Key.
I'm Meredith Placko at M Placko.
I'm Coy Jandreau at Coy Jandreau.
And we are joined by 2 lovely guests today on the Cosmic Couch. Just pretend that there's a Cosmo with a little space helmet on over there. We've got Anastasia Washington and Megan Mobley.
I love you like a drink. You're like a
Cosmo.
It makes sense given the show you do.
It does. It makes sense.
Anyway, Anastasia, let's start with you. Here on my left. Tell us about yourself. You have 10 seconds. Go.
I'm Anastasia.
I'm just kidding. You
I
can
do.
do
Okay. I do comics and cocktails, and awkward conversations are my babies, my little babies. And
When you say that, you mean like awkward conversations just in general, right?
awkward conversations in general, but my podcast that's been on for about I'm gonna say 6 years now.
Oh.
And now we're doing comics and cocktails, which is our live version where we get to drink in front of you. And,
That's awesome.
And talk comics.
And you also do a S.H.I.E.L.D. after show.
I do the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after show on the Stream TV, and I'm a Fitz freak.
I am so excited to talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with you today.
I'm actually really excited to talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week.
Did you see it?
I have theories.
Yes! What? Yes! Coy, you're going to be out on this one. I'm sorry.
I'm on episode 5, and it's...
Just, it's okay. You can leave it blank.
It's a thing.
Where can people find you on Twitter?
On Twitter at Anastasia W.
Nice. All right. And Megan, your turn. You're up to bat. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Megan. I go by Uncanny Megan, like Uncanny X-Men. I am.
What a nerd. Who brought her?
God,
what a dork.
She flew over from Hawaii. I don't know why. She kind of showed up. She's here.
It's like, hi, let me into this, please.
I swore I liked the X-Men. I swear.
She's wearing a Pikachu shirt. It's fine.
That's okay. That's a Marvel property, right?
Totally
it will
by
be
Marvel.
soon.
It will be. It will be everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm a cosplayer, and I also do the YouTube stuff. And I'm on a podcast called Mana Pauhana in Hawaii, and I'm not really that interesting.
You are very interesting.
now.
I met Megan when I was doing the amazing Hawaii Comic Con show, and I got to be on part of your little the video version of your podcast.
She
You are
got
super
drunk
interesting.
interviewed by
I did.
me.
That's awesome.
We were both drunk, right?
I was about to ask which one was drunk.
My favorite part, there's a part where Meredith is scratching her nose, but she leans down so nobody sees, but we saw it.
So it didn't look like I was scratching my nose. It looked like I was doing way worse stuff. So I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not from Hollywood.
All right. Well, let's
But I am.
jump into the news. Are we excited?
All the news, all the
there's
speculation,
so
much
much.
rumors.
We're gonna talk
news.
Deadpool. We're gonna talk some Agent Carter. Like I said, we're gonna talk Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I'm excited about. Civil War and Jessica Jones, obviously. But first, we're gonna jump over to Marvel and talk about Guardians of the Galaxy
Got to go.
Volume 2.
Got G.
Got G.
Got G. I got G.
You got G.
I got
and
G.
then there's like a G over your lip.
Yeah, that's my supervillain name. Got
So,
G.
relative newcomer Pom Klementieff.
Pom
Klementieff, that's
who
her
is
name.
absolutely stunning and just phenomenal. And if she was in the Old Boy remake.
Haven't seen
I'm a
it.
huge fan of hers, actually. I
Please
really,
tell
yeah.
us, 'cause no one knows who she is.
She is. I mean, she is a newish actress, but at least in the American scene. But I mean, just looking at her, she's gorgeous. I love her. She's like a unicorn, basically, with her silver hair. Really fun, really awesome. Kind of, can do the psychotic thing really well.
Sure.
But I'm really super excited that she is up in the running for a possible one of my favorite characters from that can appear in Guardians. So I'll let you say the news part.
Well,
I'm just excited about her.
Well, it's not new. The news is that she's been cast, and all we know is that she's playing a key role. And according to, I think it was the Hollywood Reporter that said this, Marvel conducted a wide search for its mystery part, which called for an Asian actress and did several rounds of chemistry reads. So just looking at her, Mantis.
I would think Mantis.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be Mantis, right?
Yeah.
Like, you look at her, she's going to be green. She's going to be going. She's going to be the other green girl going up against Gamora.
Yeah.
And she looks just so ethereal.
I mean, look
like
at
her
this.
whole ness is just like this magical
well,
mystic.
so
She's
this-
got like these beautiful cheekbones.
Yeah.
She's got a presence about her. You
Yeah.
know, she has like you can just like look at photos of her and you can see that she can just command. And I think you look at Mantis and she's both lovely but also strong.
Yeah.
And in a way that's very different from Gamora.
Yeah.
And I think if they bring Mantis in, I think it's gonna be. Hopefully they won't make her. I'm sure they'll make her green, but like. I don't know if we can.
I think they'll
know.
make her green.
But do
I
we
think they'll
really,
make her green.
But then it makes
That's
me
a lot of green.
I know it
Yeah.
makes me wonder if they're actually not going to have Gamora in such a strong role, or will Mantis not have a major role? Will she just kind of be like
There's
a
no way they'd take Gamora down.
Yeah.
Like, it's Zoe
Yeah,
Saldana and
that's
she's
true.
one of the 5 lead guardians. Like,
It's
they
very
wouldn't
true.
sacrifice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I cannot
I-
see her going
No.
away.
Yeah, I actually don't know how they're going to utilize Mantis. I think in the comics, Mantis is, I think, telepathic, correct? I think she is a lot like the Inhuman Karnak, and that she can sense an enemy's weakness, not at the same level, because that's his power, but I
Yeah.
think she kind of has the sort of vague assumption of what it might be.
But see, I can see them using more of like maybe if they didn't want to go
So-
that way,
yeah,
like going.
This is like one of her first appearances
Yeah.
in the Avengers, and she started off as like a villain against the Avengers, but then I think a subsect of some religious like Kree religious sect kind of thing found out about her, and they thought that she was a celestial Madonna, and that she was going to save the universe, and they kidnapped her and raised her on their planet to take the role of this celestial Madonna, which
Like you do.
to my knowledge has not yet happened.
No.
That has not yet paid off. But that is the kind of thing. Like,
I hope
that's
they
what
really bring
happened
that
with her, so.
particular costume in because that's such
Right?
like a weird thing. I mean, look, I can see
Yeah.
the Mantis motif on her boobs just coming off the shoulders there, like in the hair too.
Work.
But they could
Yeah.
also just make that her eyebrows. I mean, look at God, comics had such really terrible costume designs for a
They
while.
did. They did.
I want
Yeah.
to wear it though.
I also I'm just technically you really should see her lady bits. Like you really should where the straps are coming down, but I don't
I thought you were saying should and that
no,
everyone should.
No, I'm just saying.
This is something we
I'm
should
sorry.
indulge
I'm
in.
just
There's no
critiquing the art at this point. That I'm if I were to make this, if I was a cosplayer making this, and I'm no, okay, nope. Because when as a cosplayer, you dissect. You do this, right? You look at things if I was going to make this, I'm I know. I was
read it.
sorry. I do this.
No, it's okay. So anyway, it feels like if they bring in Mantis, she will most likely be related to the Kree world, I would imagine.
Oh, yes.
I think she'll be green. The only other way that she's not going to be green is if they use the whole human backstory
Yeah.
and she ends up being a second human for Peter Quill to interact with, which
Or just
could
make
be
her an
interesting.
Inhuman because everyone's an Inhuman now.
Or make her an Inhuman. But I don't know. I feel like I think they're going to stay beholden to the Dan Abnett run of her.
Well, I mean,
and
because
keep her green with the antennas
a lot has been based off the Abnett
Sure,
run. So
sure. So it feels like that's probably what they're gonna do.
My only argument as to not making her green, and this is not me saying this is me saying Hollywood tends to dumb down movies because Hollywood tends to think audiences need to have things explained to them. And I would think that Hollywood would we can't have two green people because they wouldn't be able to tell the
except that they
difference.
had 1,000 blue people, and the original they had
Guardians had, Drax and.
Well, but that
and,
was- yeah.
there were,
Drax
so many-
I
and
know.
Gamora were on the same team.
Right.
I know.
and
I'm
then
just
there was
saying.
Ronan
But
the
okay,
Accuser.
Anastasia, can you help me speak of this,
The Kree were
of
all
how
I
Hollywood kind of
understand.
dumbs down things?
I could see that, and even
Yeah.
initially, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
too green.
Well, I mean, yeah, we can't because basically it's we can't seem to have two black women on TV, but
No.
but we'll have two green. I'm sorry, it's just maybe it's me nitpicking. I'd like to see it, but I'm just saying I don't know if they really would.
I don't know.
And maybe I'm just
Yeah.
not expressing what I'm thinking
I get what
very
you're
well.
saying. I don't know. I don't know that they will go green with
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
I just feel I feel that Hollywood doesn't have enough faith in the audiences to think that they'd be able to differentiate the two.
But
They know
I think
that the
Marvel does. Marvel, I think, has given a track record that they trust the audience to be able to follow it.
All right.
I mean, I don't think it really.
I agree with
Yeah.
you in general.
Yeah.
But Marvel seems like they're kind of doing a different
Guardians of
thing.
the Galaxy is the weirdest, it's
Yeah.
the most abstract,
That's
colorful,
true.
magical alien world. And I also
Yeah.
feel like James Gunn did such a good job with Guardians 1 that they're going to give him a lot of leash. And I also
Sure.
feel like it's separate enough from Avengers. They're making that a separate universe. So I'm not worried about Guardians at all. Guardians is the one movie that I'm it will do well. It will be
yeah.
great. I think everything is shaping up really well.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
really excited. She might also be Moondragon.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
That could be.
interesting.
Yeah.
That could be. Yeah.
So I'm just,
Heather Douglas,
yeah.
Thanos.
And it would be cool to have
Drax's daughter from Earth.
It'd be cool to have a psychic on the team. And she
Yeah.
also had a thing with Daredevil, so that'd be fun. She's also
Oh, that's
bisexual,
right.
which would also be fun.
Yeah. Wow. Could be Moondragon.
Just saying, just
yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
It's getting in Torchwood.
Hashtag yes,
Yeah.
I'm green.
Right.
I like it.
All right. So unless we have anything else, let's move on. Yeah.
Oh, someone said Falavel.
Phyla-Vell?
Yeah, I don't know that name.
Oh, she became Quasar.
Oh,
okay.
I know that name.
Yeah.
Okay.
She took over for Quasar, and then not Death. Was it Chaos? I think she became an avatar for Chaos or something like that towards the end of the Dan Abnett's run. in
Okay,
Thanos
so she's
Initiative.
that'd work. That universe,
Yeah,
that place.
yeah, that would work.
Okay.
That would
Yeah.
work.
I'm kind of liking the Moondragon
Yeah, that's
thing.
what I was
Actually,
gonna say. I was
I
like,
really like
Yeah.
that.
She has that nest. She has that
Yeah.
and she seems like a fighter. Just like her
Yeah.
whole visage is
Yeah.
strong.
I
That'd be
also
pretty cool.
feel like a couple months ago we were talking about a rumor of Moondragon showing up. But
There-
then
I
again,
think
I think
there have
we
been rumors
talk
of
about
Moondragon and
everything.
Mantis.
Yeah, there's been
Yeah.
rumors
Yeah,
of both for a long
yeah.
time. Yeah.
So
I'm
anyway,
okay with Moondragon.
yeah, Moondragon would be cool, but
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, ooh, Mantis. All right, so Thor Ragnarok is going to be filming in Australia. That's the news.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Oh,
I
we-
announced that on the show
Yeah.
that I hosted. That news has kept being news because
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
but now Chris Hemsworth's like, I'm gonna say it. It's news again.
Yeah.
news again.
His Instagram, by the way, is
That's so good.
fantastic.
Is it really? I
He's just
haven't looked at it.
You forget how young Hemsworth is. He's
Yeah.
just a dude, but when he's Thor, he just has this age and quality about
Yeah.
him. But there's literally pictures of the one today was him with a Thor toy. He's looking through the thing, and he's like, I think the likeness is really good. What do you guys think? And he's just
Oh my
a 20-year-old guy.
God.
He's just
Dad.
awesome.
So I'm really happy to see that side of Hemsworth just being an Aussie, like running around Australia with his boys. Like it's
Well,
I like
because he's going to be back there too.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
So
for him.
they start pre-production in January, start shooting June or July.
That's so cool. It'd be so cool to go
home.
home and like after being in America for years to go home and like hang out with your people and like
And to come
awesome.
back like the God of Thunder.
I mean, not only a god, but the God of Thunder.
The Thunder Down Under.
Whoa.
Myself out. See you guys.
Get out.
Yeah, get out of here, Matt.
Get out.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be really exciting. I'm just excited for. I like when actors are happy. So
Yeah.
I think it's really
Well,
cool.
you're an actor,
Why?
so that gives you hope.
I really I think I can't wait to go back to Boston to film something so I can just be like, hey.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back to Hollywood.
Oh.
Stupid hometown, Hollywood.
So this is not necessarily news, but it is kind of cool. Olivia Wilde wants to play Carol Danvers.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm actually
So-
okay with her playing anything in
Yeah.
life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, she could play my sweater. I'd be fine.
I want you to play the part of Cheetos. Just an
I
orange
would watch it.
crunchy chip. Play it.
I would watch it.
I'm okay. This is what has me excited is that so many awesome Hollywood actresses know who Carol Danvers is and wants to play her.
I love
and I'm
people
like,
lobbying for
yeah,
Carol Danvers.
I'm
That's
like,
such a cool thing.
okay, this is awesome because they recognize what a rad character she is, and they're
Well
like,
done,
I want to
well
be
done.
her. Want to be her. I caught it. Caught it.
No, her quote was, so a fan asked her, I think on Twitter or something like that, she wanted to do it. And she said, "Oh hell yeah, let's do this! I'm starting my Marvel diet immediately. Eggshells and jet fuel only, right?"
Yes,
So-
that's how that works.
But then another website, I want to say Collider, but I know that that's incorrect, followed up with her on it, and she kind of gave her opinions on
never mind.
female superheroes, and said the thing with female superheroes is that in order to be powerful, they are flawless. And I think the way these Marvel heroes are written, the female superheroes included, do have their complexity and flaws. But I think when they are translated into film, the women can become these ultimate goddesses of perfection. And I would love to create a female Marvel character who is just as unexpected and complex as some of the male characters.
It's just so...
So,
I know. She's so, I love
but
her.
she's
just great. She's
yeah,
great.
she's very right. You know, like
I'm on board.
I think Gamora
Anything.
did a pretty good job having layers. Like I thought Gamora
Yeah.
was a really good. They didn't have a lot of time with a lot of the other female characters,
Yeah.
but with her, she had like the PTSD, she had the family issues, she had the commitment issues, she had the Peter Quill trust issues. Like there was a lot more depth to her. It's just giving them right on time.
and there's Black Widow with her red ledger
Absolutely.
and everything like that. But
and that's why like Guardians was such an unexpectedly great film because I'm like, this is kind of a silly premise, but there's a lot of
So much
layers and depth here.
That's why
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Gunn doing too. Like there's
no.
nothing about that sounds even like remotely
No.
concerning.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard is
be
just
great.
like, please now.
Yeah.
So
Be awesome.
So Olivia Wilde, Carol Danvers, Captain
Yes.
Marvel, we're all on board.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Be great. I would
she'd have
love
to put
that,
on
yeah.
some mass for me. Like Olivia Wilde's a little, she's thin, but I
Yeah.
know she'd work out. Like she said, the jet fuel line. That's why I like Emily Blunt so much is because she's got the build. She's like a very strong, powerful, commanding
I
woman.
think I'm just worried that Olivia Wilde would actually drink jet fuel.
she is
kill
a
a
champion.
person.
Yeah.
She would
I mean,
handle
that
her
would
own.
actually kill her. I
And
don't know if
Jason
she knows
Sudeikis
that.
just on a Marvel set watching his
Don't
wife.
do
Like,
that.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't actually drink jet
We
fuel.
like you.
Please.
Don't do it.
So news came out this week also about Civil War and when the trailer's going to come out. Russian website said that it was going to be played in front of Spectre,
No.
which comes out next week.
No.
I believe it was Comic Book Movie and a couple other places picked it up that they were like, no, it's going to be with Star Wars.
Well, of course.
That would be
Well,
smart. Like,
Disney, biggest
Yeah,
film of all
what- I
time,
mean,
highest
yeah.
pre-sales
Yeah.
in history, will break every record.
Yeah.
Also Christmas release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Spectre.
I
That's
mean,
James
Spectre will
Bond.
do great.
Yeah.
It's gonna make
Be
millions,
fun.
but not
Not
billions.
James Bond. It's not. It's Daniel Craig action movie, and that is it.
That is fair.
We
That is
might.
fair.
If
I take
anything,
it you're a big fan.
Yeah. Oh, you want to talk about Anastasia's feels on James Bond? That's a podcast unto
Before we move
itself.
too far on, everyone wants to know who we'd cast as Captain Marvel
God.
on a speed round. Like 4 people have asked, so I wanted to run it by.
The chick from Vikings whose name I can't remember right
Dwayne
now.
Johnson.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I didn't even think about her.
Yeah, I'm on
Her.
Yeah,
her.
I
I'm
don't
on
watch
that.
the show.
Someone will.
Yeah.
Dude, watch the show. Like,
Yeah,
watch
watch
the first
it.
season. It's great.
It's
It's
a-
a
no, I've heard it's
good
good. I
show.
want
It's a
to.
good
Oh,
show.
Take the
amazing.
time because Greg and I finally took the time and I love it. And ever since you said that, that is my new fan
Oh, yeah.
cast.
Yeah.
So
And she's like she's
Artha
still-
from
Catherine
Vikings.
Winnick.
Yeah, Catherine Winnick.
And
for-
she's still a relative unknown, which I think would make it even more fun for
Yep.
the world to discover her. She's very powerful. She's got the build. She's got the
Yeah.
look and just the attitude.
Right. Well, that's why I like Natalie Dormer
so-
for her. I think Natalie Dormer has the exact attitude. And I know she
Yeah.
was in Captain America, but I think Natalie Dormer could do a really good job. She was such a small part.
So, like,
And I'm still on the Blunt
two
train.
scenes, Yeah.
Yeah,
Blunt train.
it's
Blunt train.
Catherine
So
Winnick,
wrong.
Emily Blunt. That's it for me.
Yeah.
You guys
What about
have-
Blunt is busy. She's gonna be like Mary Poppins or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Do you have any
Mary
other
Poppins and
casts
Captain Marvel.
for Captain Marvel?
Cast for Captain
I
Marvel?
actually really like the picks
Yeah.
that you have, but yeah.
No complaints.
No
Yeah.
complaints. I didn't even think about the Vikings girl.
All right,
I
right.
love
He
Vikings.
I
said
haven't
that.
seen it, but I know who she is, and
Yeah.
I'm picturing her.
Right?
Yeah,
Picture
I
it.
can totally
Picture it.
picture it.
I can see it.
Okay, so what if they did a teaser trailer in front of Spectre and then full trailer on? I
That
can
would be
see that.
ridiculous and awesome.
Yeah, there we go.
Like 4 weeks apart. They're like,
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
pop, big pop.
Yeah.
There we go.
I will like to point out that the Russian website, the English translation of Civil War is Captain America Split Avengers.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The only reason I think they'd have it in front of Spectre is as a like peace offering to Sony with Spider-Man, because Sony is huge in Spectre.
Maybe.
Sony run
Maybe.
like every
Sure.
piece of
That's
marketing.
their biggest thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's
That
their
makes
baby.
sense.
The only reason I
Yeah.
think it'd be in front of that would be as like, hey, thank you so much. We did this together. Here's a little thing.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's the
Okay.
only reason.
but
I don't think that's the case.
I don't think
I'm just saying
gonna
that's the only
happen
excuse I can see.
because Star Wars.
It's gonna be in front of
Yeah.
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
It just makes
Star
It's
sense.
gonna be like such a nerdgasm day for
Yeah.
me. I can't even.
Yeah.
My body is not ready.
I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
For
Do you
Star
guys-
Wars.
Do you guys already
yeah.
all have your tickets?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I
That's-
couldn't get night of.
Yeah.
I'm going next day, the morning. But morning,
It's
I'm
okay.
not doing IMAX that day.
I can't
I'm doing
do
IMAX the next
because of my stuff. I can't do
Oh.
3D or IMAX.
Oh.
I know.
And the 4D tickets haven't even come out yet. I don't even know
Yeah.
what to do with myself.
I've never been to 4D.
Oh.
movies.
Yeah,
Is
that's-
that's like a big
Yes.
thing here.
Yeah,
though,
it's a
right?
huge thing here.
4D
Yeah.
is amazing. It's amazing. But you have to see it like the second time.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah. So another rumor came out this week. We're not going to cover it on the
it's
show
all
because it's a
rumors.
total spoiler.
Roomies.
But it's
Roomies.
who switches sides in Civil War.
Oh.
I posted a link.
BS.
I think it is too. But I posted a link on our Facebook and I think I put it up on our Twitter page. So you can go look for it yourself there if you just are dying to know this rumor. But it is who switches sides in
Whatever.
Civil War.
It wouldn't work out like that. It just
I don't
wouldn't.
think it would.
Whatever.
I don't think it
Deathstroke is Batman, right? That's the
Yeah,
rumor?
that's the
That's the
rumor.
rumor.
Okay.
Yeah, and
the
he's gonna totally betray Tony Stark. Deathstroke
Yep.
will totally stab
Yep.
him in the back.
All right, so guys, I'm very excited to do this. We're jumping into television now.
Okay.
We're gonna talk Agents of Shield.
Yes, that was my thought exactly. That
Right?
was my
Oh,
thought
yeah,
exactly.
let's get on
I'm
about
so
that. Let's go.
excited
Okay,
about
skip,
that.
skip,
I'm so
skip, skip,
excited
skip.
about that.
You scat.
I know.
That's the
Yeah, I
thing.
like that you
That's the thing.
scat too, Matt.
Thank you. What?
No, not that.
Scat
kind of-
singing. Scat, not
singing.
scatological.
Not-
Scat singing.
No.
Come back, Meredith. Come back.
Okay, it's gonna be
Come back.
okay.
Sit next to Coy.
She's been on this all the whole pre-show. She was talking about you guys were there.
So, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week saw a Gemma Simmons centric episode where she was on an alien planet. Look, by the way, this is going to be spoilers if you haven't seen this particular
Yeah.
episode. So just
Oh yeah, I guess. It would.
just FYI.
Although
it's-
there's more questions than there are
I
answers.
know.
I know, but just in case, I don't want to upset anyone. I don't think London even gets Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that. We've got one of our listeners over there.
They don't get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Like it doesn't go directly over.
Yeah.
Like there's like a year-long like lag for it and stuff.
Oopsies.
So for those of you living in the UK and anywhere else where you don't get Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
You're
just
lucky.
skip out, turn this off for a
Sorry,
little
guys.
bit.
You're lucky because you're in the UK.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about it in 3, 2, 1. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Was a Gemma Simmons-centric episode this week that saw her on the alien planet that she was sucked into
That
through
we
that
still don't
stone
know
portal. Yeah.
where she is.
So the big question isn't like who is the Will guy? Like, is he anyone? I don't think he is.
Well, they kind of explained him. I
Well,
don't
they
think
did,
he's-
but like, is he anybody? Like, I kept thinking, like, are they going to turn him into Nova? Are they going to like? Because I don't think that they would do that on Shield.
I
but
don't think so.
And yeah, that's my thing is that they could either really go hard this season where they're like, we're gonna interconnect everything,
Everyone.
but that's a huge leap.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
huge leap.
and I don't think that they're going to do that
Yeah.
on TV.
No, I
like,
think
it's
the
all
drama-
connected, but not
Yeah.
that intrinsically.
Yeah, I think the drama is going to be the planet itself getting him back.
Yeah.
And the love triangle that has now formed.
Yeah.
As soon as he showed up, I was like, so she's going to bone him.
Yeah.
And everybody at the after show was like, no, they're not going to bone him.
No,
They're
no.
going to bone him.
Oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna do
It's
it.
going to happen. Who's right? Anastasia.
Oh, that's a good one.
Anastasia can smell a bone.
I can smell a good bone.
Yeah.
Smell a good bone.
So anyway, so on our live chat, David Harrison is pointing out that Will is the Sentry. Was that his?
No,
name?
I'm like
remember.
that's just a good guess. I'm like
Okay.
that's a good way to bring, because I think Sentry would work very well in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and television. I can't really see Sentry in film universe.
True.
You know.
Yeah.
I just don't know that they're gonna go anywhere.
I just don't think they're going to go full superhero in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I just don't.
Oh man,
feel
yeah.
like
Our
wish they would.
It's gonna
this
get
David
complicated.
Harrison guy is on fire. He says, "Will is the Sentry, the evil is the void." Make it so.
Oh, okay. All right. I mean,
And Gemma,
yeah.
the actress who plays Gemma Simmons, what's her name? I can't remember. Anyway, she did like a post interview with like CBRcomicbook.com, and she said that the planet is going to end up playing a larger part in the whole season as a
Ego.
whole.
Yes. That
So-
was my first thought, but
It was my first thought too, but if it's the Sentry and the Void and they pull Will back, that could end up being something.
well, and my
So-
question is since Ego initially is so tied to Fantastic Four, does Fox own the rights to
And
Ego?
that was one of our things that we
Ego.
were kind of like debating about whether or not they even can use that. Although I just feel like it would be perfect because when
know.
she's on the planet, everything is reacting to
Yeah.
her. And Ego would react to her.
Yeah.
Ego would react to her. Ego
Yeah.
can like talk to people on
No.
himself.
Real quick, can you explain Ego the Living? Whoever wants to take.
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
Ego the Living Planet premiered in Journey into Mystery as a Thor villain.
Mm-hmm.
So it would make sense that Marvel still owns the rights
Oh, okay.
to
Yeah,
him
that's
over
true.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
And we've seen them do crossovers with Thor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Plus, if Fox owned it, they would just turn him into like a cloud.
A fart cloud.
A fart cloud, like coming towards the Earth to eat
With
it.
the 4-hour origin
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So, Ego the Living Planet is very literally just one of the oldest cosmic beings in the Marvel Universe, and he's a giant planet.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
He's a planet.
But I will say, what would the Thanos story that they did, like post Infinity, where his son Thane was trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
out who his father was. They ended up going to Ego the Living Planet, and Thanos and Ego fought, and it came to like a stalemate, and Ego
Yeah.
almost won. So.
He's one of like the 3 or 4 galactic beings that can tackle
Yeah.
Thanos. It's pretty, and you know.
Yeah, he's a very imposing figure. I mean, he is
Yeah.
an actual planet too, so that helps.
Yeah. But saying that, and maybe that is a reason they wouldn't bring him on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, it's like
It seems like Ego would be too big or grand of an idea unless it becomes a threat that's coming towards the Earth.
this is okay. The way, if they didn't want to bring in Sentry and the Void, which that's a lot to build into already.
It is.
The fact that
'Cause
they're
there's so much else
that's so
going
much,
on.
and that doesn't really tie
don't
into
know.
Inhumans.
Mm-hmm.
They can easily shift an Ego story with the Inhumans, and that gives a cosmic level, world shattering event for the Inhumans to go up against. I can finally
Very
see,
true.
like, and that's actually what's catching me on with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is they're finally upping the stakes to make me care about this world.
I
Yeah.
think that would be a great way to tie it in. I think the Sentry. I don't know.
And I would like to see a Sentry storyline.
It would be great.
I just don't see that happening this season. I think that's just
Yeah.
too left field for what they're building right
We've
now.
got
I can agree
Hydra
with that,
and
yeah.
we've got Inhumans.
Yeah.
Like, there's
The-
a lot
The
going
only
on.
other thing that this could happen or could be happening here is I was wondering if the shadowy figure could be Death, and they're starting to tie her in with all the Thanos stuff because we haven't really seen Death, and you can't. I mean, you can have a Thanos story without Death, but can you really have a Thanos story without Death? Should
You
you have a
don't- you
Thanos
don't
story
want one.
without? Yeah,
You don't want
you
one.
don't want one.
So
I don't want one.
My only thing with this figure being the actual death is that why would Death be tied down to the planet?
Exactly.
Because people are still dying. So if Death is actually the avatar of Death in the whole cosmic sense, then Death is everywhere. So why are they like focused on
Though-
this planet?
I wonder
Probably
if
can explain it away.
yeah,
Just
I
saying.
know. I wonder if maybe the reason Thanos is collecting the stones, the gems, whatever they're calling them in this universe.
Stones.
Stones. Thank you. Because maybe she's somehow binded. But then you wouldn't have Death happening
But you
and
wouldn't
whatever.
have death,
So
yeah.
I think
You would end up with a cancer virus.
exactly. I think they're trying to still keep S.H.I.E.L.D. separate, but bringing in movie tie-ins to spice it up.
are, yeah.
And I think Ego would be a very different but interesting villain to tie in. And I don't even think he needs to be like the overarching villain. I think it would just be something even if it's just like a throwaway and they never end up defeating him, they just run away. They get away.
I think that if they were to use ego, it would be more like a season-long ticking clock.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, this planet's coming for us. What do we do?
And I also think we can maybe even say that they would do something different, but ego-like.
Exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Because they're doing that with a lot of characters.
Right.
Everyone's changed.
Yeah.
Even Lash is changed.
Yeah.
He is not who he is now.
Yeah, he's not
Yeah.
the Lash that we know, but
Yeah.
yeah. And also, like, I really enjoyed this episode mainly because of Simmons. Like, it was...
It was a great episode.
It was... that actress is fantastic. And again, like...
And then you realize why she cried about the wine.
I know.
I'm like, I can't even. I can't deal.
And I know, like, and because I'm not attached to the show, and I have poo-pooed all over the show up until this point, and I'm sure a lot of people probably feel very betrayed that she feels attached to this Will guy, but I feel like...
Really? Because Fitz doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Because he's a real man.
Yeah, right?
Oh no, Fitz is hurt.
But
definitely hurt.
he's hurt, but he's not being...
But he
understands.
He
Yeah.
understands. He's like, there's a dude on a planet that needs to be saved, and I'm not gonna be like a jerk and like leave him there because you're my girl. Like,
Right.
Also, because that guy really helped the woman he loves. Like,
Exactly. Yeah.
I thought the way... So, in so many ways, they kind of tackled that very tropey stereotype... neckbeard nice guy thing in a way of like, no, this is how it really should play out. Like, if you really love someone, you shouldn't like covet them and try to like destroy their relationship. You should actually like, no, we should help this person, and maybe she might end up with this other person, but this is what she wants, and I should be happy for her because she doesn't owe me anything. I'm not entitled to her, and maybe whatever she went through is bigger than my feelings for her.
Right.
And I thought that was so perfectly stated and said, and I'm so happy that they managed to say that without beating people over the head with it.
And I thought they did a really good job of like doing like a sort of like mislead where he like gets up and just walks out.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh man, he's so hurt. Oh, poor Fitz. And then she's like, Fitz, please, let's talk about this. And he's like, no, let's get him back. And you're just like, oh yeah, you're
Yeah.
good.
He
That's awesome.
like hit this. I mean, I've always been a Fitz fan, but this season he took it like
He has.
Yeah.
So we need to wrap this up because we need to move on. I want to throw out another possibility for the planet death thing. Ebony Maw, like Thanos' right-hand man, like the minister who like goes behind people. He's like, whisper, 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 and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna do whatever you say. I think that could be cool too, that would tie into Thanos. I don't think it is. I just would love to see Ebony Maw on there. At Eagles Couch, Bill said, crazy theory, could the death on this week's Agents be the one that Thanos falls with and falls in love with in Infinity Wars?
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's...
I just wanted to give a shout out to
I was saying like
at
that's...
Eagles
Yeah,
Couch,
no, that's awesome. Good.
Hey, Eagles Couch, Bill. Quick news, Agent Carter Kurtwood Smith has been cast in Agent Carter as Vernon Masters, a veteran of the War Department with a keen understanding of how the system works.
He's gonna
Or
be
how
fun.
to work the system, sorry. Yeah. I love Kurtwood Smith. He was like the best part of that 70s show for me.
He can be so complex too, and I'm excited.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that. And I have no idea who Vernon Masters is. I think he's probably just a creation for the show. So and she'll probably end up working with him along with him. He'll probably be an ally. Fox Colossus is going to be featured in Deadpool more.
That doesn't make sense to me still, but...
What? Tell us about it. Why?
Because, well, I read all about it, and they're saying they're making him a traditional Colossus, and they're putting him in Deadpool, and that doesn't make sense, because when I think traditional Colossus, I think very kind and kind of soft, and Deadpool's going to be so loud and violent, it just doesn't make sense to me that they would put Colossus in it at all.
I think that'll be the dichotomy, though. I think that'll be like, hey, we have this brass, like, this guy that has no morals, and he just wants to, like, do the job, and he's awesome, and then you have, like, this lumbering beast that looks like he'd be a rhino, but is actually, like, this soft artist, and then you have to, that shows you what Deadpool really is, because you really care about Deadpool, and he's gonna have all this heart, but at the end of the day, he's like this wisecracking crazy guy. So I think it'll allow both characters to grow at once. You really care about Colossus, and you really care about Deadpool, because they're both going for the same goal, but in the opposite ways. I think it's gonna allow them to grow together.
That makes sense.
So I'll give a round of applause to Coy. That was really well done. That was well said.
I think the dichotomy of the characters is why they selected it. I think that's why they chose. Like Deadpool is not a strong character. He's not a beast, and Colossus is all beast. So I think having the characters have the inverse of their external persona as the characterization of them like growing is going to be interesting, because they both they couldn't be more different, like you said. So I think I'm excited.
Okay, you put that in perspective.
Whoa, that was like a smackdown.
I know. No, it was good.
I
feel
10 minutes on this Mad Talk, I'll save it.
I feel like Coy is our silent Bob today.
It wasn't so much a
Deadpool?
smackdown as it was like a very gentle laying down of no.
Yeah, it's like when you see a cat just like pushing them down.
Yeah.
No, I think it's gonna play. I really am excited that they're giving Colossus his time to shine because, like, I love Cudmore. I think he was a great Colossus, but he never got to speak or do much.
He didn't.
This guy literally doesn't speak, which is interesting. But he's going to have more time to show. This next phase of X-Men is going to change the perspective of all X-Men because comics and comic films have changed so much since the inception of these comic movies. So I think this round of Colossus is going to be they said it, this is the comics Colossus. And we've never seen that. We've never seen the X-Men. In my opinion, we've never seen the X-Men like they are in the comics. We've had Bryan Singer's Mutants, and those are good movies. They're mutant movies. I think now, starting with Deadpool, in my very, very biased opinion, we will begin to get X-Men movies. And that's
Wait,
very
are you a
exciting for
Deadpool
me.
fan wearing a Deadpool shirt and a Deadpool hat?
I think Deadpool's going to change cinema. No, I think Deadpool's going to be the first X-Men movie of this new phase. I'm really excited.
All right. Well,
That was
Deadpool.
That was like a nerd.
Yeah.
And that was Deadpool.
So there was our
Drop the
Fox
mic.
news. Well done, sir. Jumping over to Netflix. First of all, new Jessica Jones trailer. Our
Yeah.
very first
So
one.
good.
I know. You missed that last week too.
Oh, did we already talk about that last week? That came out on Friday, though.
Wait,
How did you already talk
did
about
we
it?
not? I thought we talked about. Okay. Wait, didn't we talk about Jessica
We did
Jones?
too, didn't it?
Yeah.
You may have
Yeah.
talked about Jessica Jones, but you couldn't have talked
No,
about
I'm
the trailer because it didn't come
fairly
out. It came out
I really
Friday.
thought we did.
I thought we did. Guys,
you
We
wait
talked
time?
about anticipation. I don't
maybe we
remember.
did.
I
Yeah.
think you
So
were
much
talking
has
about
happened this week.
anticipation,
I know. Wait, chat. Did we
just,
talk about the trailer?
All right, now
Someone
let's
help
wait for a
us.
minute.
I know.
Let's
It's
wait for
fine.
90
We can still
seconds
talk
for the
about it. It was
live, yeah.
amazing. I loved it. I like. Oh, maybe I just wrote about it for work. Oh, I think I like lost my mind and wrote about it for work because I watched it like 20 times.
Then tell us what you thought. You wrote about it. Tell us what you thought.
Well, it was amazing and it was awesome and it was really good. And
Okay, you're going nuts over here. Do you
I think
have?
she has some ideas.
No, I'm
and
just like
yeah, she's mimicking.
It's just
No,
amazing.
it was. I mean, seriously, like it was literally everything it should be and more. It felt like Jessica Jones alias. AKA Jessica Jones alias came to life in every way possible. The just little snippets we had of Purple Man were fantastic.
Yeah.
Like it was just menacing. It was dark. It was. I mean, Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones is it's hauntingly perfect.
It's perfect.
How?
Like, what's that one
How?
scene where she's with
How?
Rachel Taylor and she says like, "Look, you can help
How?
me." Like he's not with you anymore, and she goes, "He's up here."
I know, he's
like,
right
the
there.
way she just like throws that away and turns around and walks off, like dropping the mic behind her. She's like, "He's always up
Always
here."
there.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that is so Jessica Jones.
I know. Some people were saying on Twitter, they're like, "Oh, well, it's Purple Man's origin story." I'm like, "No, he's been there. This is
He's behind the
yeah.
scenes. He's the Empire. He's not Darth
already-
Vader. He's the Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, he's
And
already
that's how
been
he should
through
be.
this with her, and he's come back. He's come back to claim his prize.
Yeah, and there's a new synopsis. I didn't copy and paste it in here, but it's basically using her private detective powers. She tries to figure out where Kilgrave is before he can hurt anyone else in her neighborhood. So
It's so emotional. Like
Yeah.
I'm already like
well, like, and they had like
be an
scenes of
emotional
like
level.
that one scene of all the like in the police station with the cops all frozen holding their guns at each other, and she walks in just like WTF, like
Yeah.
I'm
WTF indeed.
That's
I can't say it. I can't say it. I can't say it. I want to say it, but I can't. So yeah, they like I cannot. It was
It
pitch
looks so
perfect.
good, man.
It was
I'm
pitch
so
perfect.
excited. It's like 3 weeks now.
Yeah,
It's
November
Halloween, so in 3
20th.
weeks.
November 20th.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so excited. That whole day's gone. Like I'm.
Oh
just,
yeah. Yeah.
I've already got
It's
it all
gone.
blacked out. There's no work to be done.
It's
Just
gone.
That's just. I'm so excited.
And
I
like
agree with you. Like
I'm
I'm just
so
like,
stoked.
at my bar.
Yeah. I'm gonna plan. I'm gonna like pre-make all my
Ready the whole
meals. I'm gonna like,
Yeah, it's all done.
everything's gonna be in Tupperware. Just put it in the microwave, which I'll have like set up next to me. And
Next
Jessica
to you, yeah.
Jones. Like, just feel like I had to do that.
yeah,
Popcorn
is your
maker on.
girlfriend still in Atlanta when that comes out?
She's back.
Yay.
She
Nice.
might be back for another episode by then, but she's back soon to find out when she goes back. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, we gotta watch that together.
Yeah.
That's
No,
the
well,
only
that's-
version of me not watching it November 20th is if
Yeah.
Shelby's in Georgia. It's
That's
the only
fair.
possible.
That's fair.
But man, I hope she's here because I want to watch it so bad.
Yeah.
I know. See, for me, it comes out the day after I leave for Amazing Oklahoma Comic Con, and then I'm gone for a week visiting family for the holidays.
Yeah.
And I won't watch it without my boyfriend.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to watch it
Oh no.
for a week.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I
That's
know.
where
You're
I'm
gonna pull
glad
an
I'm
Agents of
single.
S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'm
There's
just
no
well.
man I would wait
might
for.
just
I'm
be
sorry.
like, hey, honey, let's just Skype and watch it together.
I would just break up with him for like a week.
Oh,
So I can
Right.
watch it.
heartbreaking. Don't do that to Greg.
Or maybe we can just watch it independently and then talk about it. Like,
There's also that.
Yeah.
Like that seems more rational.
the thing is the problem is that he's not a comic book fan, so we have to watch things together so I can explain things to him.
Yeah. So anyway, we're all very excited about that. Can't wait to see that. And we got our first like kind of really good look at David Tennant
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
That motion poster. Oh no, we got that
Yeah.
picture too. Totally blanked on that for a second. How like here's what I want to know. Where is that? Because I wrote an article for Geek Girl Authority where I said that's either the coolest church ever,
Yes,
Yeah.
or his coolest bedroom ever.
like a
Right.
cool bedroom,
I'll meet him
or
right there.
or it's like a really cool like poetry shop with a stage where you can do like poetry reading.
It's totally the same church that Daredevil and Nightcrawler hang out at. Come on, we all
That
know
does look
I
like a
think-
really cool church.
I think it's his
Right.
bedroom from Fright Night. I think it's just him and character. And he's like, you know what, guys, it'd save some money to use the set.
But like how like that is so telling. Like Jessica Jones like bravely marching towards this guy who's like tormented her.
right?
I'm so
Like-
excited for this show. I think it's going to be really, really, really different because they don't have to do with like the fan base of Jessica Jones is only like a modicum of the people that are going to watch it. It's,
Yeah.
it's selling because it's Netflix. It's selling because of Daredevil. So they really have a lot of freedom to make it as committed to the comic as they want because people
Yeah.
don't know the comic.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, and it's our first real female superhero in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah.
So I think
And
it's
I mean,
going to
we're
be.
gonna the complexity that. Like we're gonna get that complexity that we're begging for earlier. Like she's how complex. Like Jessica Jones is the most
Yeah.
complex.
I think it's going to be funny because Kevin Feige is finally back to running his side of Marvel completely.
Yes.
And Ike Perlmutter was the
He's still-
bigoted butt that was like, well, female superheroes, Catwoman, stupid. and this is going to come out and be like, hey, do you want to see these numbers we put up? And look at this woman just being the best superhero.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an unknown comic with a fairly unknown lead actress doing something on an unknown network that became a network. And sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
really excited for
I
it to
love
just
this
like.
conversation. That was the greatest conversation.
I think that-
the Catwoman.
That was like 8 people voices. But yeah, I think it's really gonna redefine. I mean, I keep saying it, but I think Netflix is gonna redefine Marvel every time they have a new show out, and I think this is a great way
Yeah.
to be like, hey, female superheroes, look what works. Hey, maybe that's why Captain Marvel got pushed back. Look how good this is. Give us more money. Mic drop. Like I just
Yeah.
wanted to.
So I have a quick question, and I know you've got something you
Yeah.
want to talk about. Quick question: will David Tennant be purple at any point, or is he just going to be I'm a white guy
In
the
a
whole
purple
time?
suit.
I'm a white guy. I hope he says I'm a white guy.
Hey, I'm a white guy.
In case you didn't know.
I'm crossing my fingers that what happens is that he's kind of putting like a sort of like telepathic, like sort of charm on everybody,
Yeah.
so
To
that
make
he is
himself
actually
look-
purple. Because I think he needs to be purple. I want him to be purple. I'll be
we'll have a moment
a
of it.
little disappointed if he's not. They're very obviously surrounding him with a lot of purple, like
And then some.
and then
Weird.
some.
I
but-
would like to think that if his skin is actually purple, he'd have the fashion sense to not wear purple suits. Though.
But maybe when he changes
lot.
his appearance with the psychic, he manifests the purple into his clothes, and
Maybe.
he has regular. I mean,
I don't know.
every picture looks like Marie from Breaking Bad's bedroom. Like they are purple-tastic. Like,
Yeah.
everything's like minerals, Marie.
Yeah.
I just hope that. Yeah, I agree. I hope Purple Man is purple at some point.
Oh, that's the
I
funniest
miss that show
piece of
so
work
much,
ever.
dude. I
Yeah.
miss it so much.
Yeah. All right. So what did you wanted to talk about something?
So I actually did a story this morning. You can go read it over on geek.com and see the links to this. But there's a Spider-Man murder mystery afoot on Instagram. And I found about it because our buddy Wes Johnson is involved. And Wes is a really awesome streamer and YouTuber and works with the guys over at Smosh Games. And he's working with a bunch of actors and actresses and models and streamers, including Ashlyn Pierce and Megan, where is her name? I can't read because it's too close and my eyes don't work. I'm sorry.
what do you want me to read?
I'm trying. Oh, here it is. It's up here. Sorry. The whole not being able to see thing really screws with me.
I can
some
imagine
days.
so.
I know. Let's see. Oh, it was a ambitious project from photographer Michael Becker and starring celebrity YouTuber Megan Camarena, who is starring as Spider-Gwen. And it kind of kicks off starting with Spider-Gwen and follows the whole Spider-Verse. And each photo is like a panel from a comic book, and it's telling a full story. And you can follow it using the hashtag is, oh gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I do apologize. I have this whole vision thing where I can't actually see, and it makes everything super crummy.
Someone just said a really funny thing on it while you're looking. Someone said bring Supergirl back to Marvel, and it made me laugh.
Oh my god. Here we
Go
go.
watch Supergirl, Father. Bring it back to Marvel.
Hashtag Spider Murder Mystery, or you can go to @Strawburry, STRAWBURRY 17 to kick it off with the Spider-Gwen stuff and follow it around. It's really cool. I just want to give a shout out at Wes the editor, our friend Wes, who's involved. He's Peter Parker Spider-Man. It looks really cool. And you just go to geek.com to see all the links and stuff. I have it there. So.
Well, let's talk comics, but real quick, do we have any 5-star reviews?
And I have shout outs now. People.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Great,
you must have
great,
said something
great.
because now people are shouting out at me.
Do you have the
Do you want to do
reviews?
it first?
Whoever's
I'll go first. Okay. Hey, I want to give a shout out to @SeanO'Grady14. Thank you so much, and happy 21st birthday to Cedric House 1994. Can we get a sexy birthday to Cedric?
What's his name?
Cedric House.
Cedric House. Happy birthday.
Oh, so perfectly sexy.
I also
It's a running joke.
sexy.
It's this thing. Meredith was going to do a sexy shout out for Johnny Cross.
Johnny Cross.
And it turned into it happening to me all of a sudden, and now there's a recurring joke of, hey.
I like it
Sexy
especially
Coy
because you
Jandreau.
have glitter on your
Oh,
eye.
yeah. Rocky Horror
Yeah, I was
Biscuit,
like,
you
he's got
guys.
a twinkle
I've got
in
a
his
little,
eye.
It's just like
It's just the
glitter.
Deadpool. I'm wearing so much Colt Bedeau Deadpool that I just have a twinkle permanently.
I also want to give.
let's give a
give a
shout.
special shout out.
special shout
To
out
Colt
to.
Bedeau.
Colt, by the way, my shirt is dirty because I wore it 2 days in a
worn
row.
it too much.
It's dirty.
It's so.
Dude, thank you,
Colt
man.
made these shirts and sent them to us, so thank you, Colt.
And I waited to debut this hat with this shirt. I've had this
Yeah.
shirt waiting, and I wanted to thank you, man.
Dude, I
That's
also need to
awesome.
give a huge shout out, one to my boyfriend Greg DeStefano,
He's
and
a
my
good guy.
he is,
I
but
like that
also
guy.
my friends Yume Ninja, Chubby Bunny Michelle. She goes by I am Chubby Bunny. Emma Fife, who works over at our sister studio AfterBuzz TV, Alicia Marie Body, and the Rage Fire studio guy artist. We did a Gem and the Holograms meets X-Men mashup photo. It was super fun, and the photos are all released now. I got to be Dazzler, the main singer. It was kind of Dazzler Gem mashup. It was super rad. The photos are all up on Instagram. You can go to @GregDESTFANO to check them out. They're really, really cool. Thank you. But yeah, so I want to shout out to everyone who worked really hard on those costumes. I did not make mine. I was actually the original Dazzler who had to drop out at Lunar Descent. She's a clothing designer. She couldn't make it, so I went and wore her costume.
that
So
was
thank
very
you so much
nice.
at Lunar Descent. Your clothing is so cool. So shout out to you guys. Anyways, I'm done.
5 stars.
I've got 2 things before the 5-star that I
Yeah,
wrote down to
do it.
do.
Do it.
On Twitter this week, Nicholas Carbonaro is a teacher at Long Beach City College, and he uses comics as part of his curriculum, and he
Amazing.
Yes.
also involved us in some of his marketing stuff, and he sent us some of his plans. And I want to say that the more comics are influenced by pop culture and vice versa, the more I think teachers need to be doing stuff like this. And I think a sign of a good teacher is being aware of the times, and the fact that comics are part of the times is just so amazing to me. And the fact that this guy is using comics as part of his curriculum is astounding. Like, this is what you need to have kids pay attention. If there was a teacher that used comics in my education, I would probably be a better person. So I'd like to thank him.
You're an awful person.
I just the worst kind.
You really are.
But I'd like to thank him, man. So thank you, dude. Like, that's
Yeah, that's
incredible.
awesome.
I think
That's
it's really,
really
cool.
amazing.
And thanks for letting us know. Bitchin' is
You can
not
say
a
that.
word you can
Yeah.
say
You
on
can
your
say- you can say
classroom.
that.
Oh, I can say it here,
You
though?
can say that, sure.
F yeah.
No, you can't say that.
F yeah.
Nope.
Just
stop
that.
it.
That's it.
Just
And
bitching.
then I'd also like to shout out, a gentleman today tweeted me, Jonathan Mansilla, I think is your name. He made this amazing Spider-Man, like he sewed a Spider-Man poster, like a hand-sewn
So
Spider-Man.
cool.
It's
and,
amazing.
and that's so cool, man. I just want to, thanks for the love. Now,
5 stars!
Yeah.
5 stars! Okay.
All right.
We have Armagana, thank you. Emily Elizabeth 12287. We have Failure Kelly. We have MJ Banks 82. We have KPNY Sports. We have Outlaw Dave. Now, all of these were very specific and they were very helpful, and that's how reviews, that's how we get better. So thank you. We also had one that was a 2-star review. And it basically discusses that some of us don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I personally don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but as per today, didn't discuss my dislike, and I'm trying to watch it. We have an entire show about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm trying to watch it. I don't want you to dislike the show because I dislike another show. So I'm sorry that affects you, and I will do better about not being pretentious, I think you said. So it's not my steez. I don't generally like network television. I'm trying to like it. I'm trying to get through it because I love you guys, and I want to love something that Marvel made. So thank you for watching the show. I'm sorry that affected you negatively, and come back, and I will try to love it and you more.
Aww. Another round of applause for Coy. You're killing it
Underslept.
today.
Underslept. This is the way to live.
So I want to give a quick shout out to Red Reb, who's watching our show live for the first time.
Oh.
Hey, Red Reb.
Yeah, man,
He's also on the
on
chat.
Twitter.
He's also on the chat.
Yeah,
What's
welcome,
up, dog? Also, Robin Beard tweeted out earlier that we have the best show podcast about Marvel by far, and we should keep up the good work. Tomas McElroy Howes wants us to do a show that is called Marvel News for DC fans.
Okay.
In it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About that. That's awesome.
a great
That is
concept.
really
I'm trying to
cool.
adapt to DC more, so I'd love to be on the other side. That's cool.
Yeah. And Jack Fern wanted a shout out. So Jack Fern and Colin Sapp, hello.
Nice.
Hello. Okay. So before we get to any more questions, let's talk comics that came out this week. Did you guys have a chance to read anything? I know
Read
we've only
some.
had a day, but
I've only been reading Death of Wolverine because I finally got there.
that's
Yay.
awesome. Do you like it? What do you think so far?
I do. I wasn't ready, and now I'm ready, I guess.
Because you're a big Wolverine fan.
Yeah, I like Wolverine is life.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to tell people on the playground, I'm not going to marry you. I'm going to marry Wolverine or the Crypt Keeper. So, what's the point?
Wow. Very specific.
Yeah, very specific and very strange child. But yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I'm not ready for. I know he's coming back, but I'm just not ready.
But
Well, I
he
think he's only
kind
coming
of
back a
isn't.
little
Don't
bit.
spoil it for her.
Oh, are you not reading Secret Wars yet?
She's like, what's that?
I'm waiting for a
No,
train.
I know
and then
what it
I'll
is.
go.
I just
I
haven't
know.
read it.
Gotcha. Sorry, I thought everyone.
No.
I'm really behind on
He's
comics.
coming back, but not.
As you know it.
Yeah.
Well, he's already not as we know
know.
him
Yeah.
right now.
Aw.
But
He's a giant adamantium statue that'll live forever in a, not really, but he was preserved forever.
Forever.
Sorry.
not ready.
I know.
Idea. Would it make sense to do, since comic come out on Wednesdays and our show is Thursday, to do last week's comics? That way people have 8 days instead of 1.
Oh.
You could do that.
With that, I'm just saying, like,
Sure, we can do
since
that.
we're doing
Yeah.
Secret War and we're doing stuff that are issue number 1s, people will not even have any grasp of what was last. If we give them 8 days, that'd give them a full.
Sure, we can do that.
Just thinking.
We'll do that.
We'll do that?
We'll do that.
So what were last week's
Okay.
comics?
Oh, God, I
I
don't.
don't remember. I didn't write them down. I've got this week's
Henceforth,
comics.
we'll do last week's
Yeah.
comics. I just think it'd be easier for fans to. Again, if we talk about a number 1 and they just got it yesterday, I don't want to alienate someone being like, "Oh right,
But I haven't read it yet. Yeah.
Good.
That's fair.
Fair
That's
enough.
totally fair.
I will, however, say that I read Howling Commandos and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
this
because I
week.
still haven't gotten a chance to read that yet.
And Hitmonkey's in it.
Oh.
dude, that's awesome."
And I was like,
Yes.
"Dead done. Pull list.
Okay.
Hitmonkey. Don't care. This could be the worst comic ever."
Yeah.
But
Then when I saw Hitmonkey, I was like, "Wait, who's writing this?" And I went into the front and looked, and it's Frank Barbiere, who's one of my favorite writers right now, because he's doing
that's
the Five
awesome.
Ghosts of Fabian Gray, which is just one of the best pulp comics out there right now. So
There's so much to read right
there's
now.
way too much
I'm
almost.
rereading Inhumans too. For,
Yeah.
Oh,
for
yeah.
obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I dug Karnak more than I expected.
I really like
Karnak
Karnak.
was
It's
great.
really
That was last
good.
week.
different.
Yeah, that
I'm
was
trying to
last
think of
week.
last week's books now. I think Karnak was good. It was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It had a very it was very Ellis. I mean,
It's extremely else. The art in it is very
I
fantastic.
love
very
it.
good,
It's like
yeah.
it's like the sketchiness I like of John
Yeah.
Romita Jr., but not feeling rushed like I feel John Romita Jr.
Exactly.
gets. And it has this atmosphere to it. Like you could smell the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really dug that book. What else? I'm still all about Iron Man's Bendis. Bendis is
Yeah.
Iron Man.
It's very
You know,
Iron
good.
and
Man's
that goes-
Bendis.
Iron Man is killing his writing on the Brian Michael Bendis story.
To Iron Man's Bendis.
That book is so good. What else came out?
God, I know I did Cupcakes
I know
and comics last week. I can't
Ant-Man 1
remember.
came out. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, that was
Nick-
fun. Yeah, we
Nick
talked about
Spencer,
it. We talked about
Yeah.
it last week.
Yeah.
It was very much
We like
the movies version of the characters, which I really dug.
If you like funny comics, Unbeatable Squirrel Girl #1 came out this week, and it's very funny.
According
It's
to
really
Mr.
good.
Conman 1987, breaking news: Deadline has confirmed that Palm is playing Mantis.
Oh.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Okay.
Thank you. You heard it. You heard it here. Well, you didn't
Well,
hear it
you-
from
you
us.
You heard it
Yeah.
here
but
second.
40
According
minutes
to
ago, you heard it here first.
yeah,
And then
according,
we just
and that's
happened to be
according to
right.
another news site. So we'll see. Let me go to my guys.
But that was a Deadline.
According to this gentleman, yeah.
That's
me see.
that's a good
That's a reputable.
reputable site.
Yeah, it still just says reportedly on And it's just deadline is just reporting, so it's not confirmed from Marvel.
Yeah, all right. Well, that's still cool.
Yeah.
I kind of saw that, like we said earlier. We saw
Shoot
that coming,
the
so-
lovelies in the live chat asking about my hat. The shirt, Colt Bedeau. Tweet him. Buy his things. The hat.
COLT.
Hot topic. No, Spencer's.
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 They're still around.
I found one. So if you can
I
find a
know, isn't it
Spencer's,
painful?
and also online, and they're fantastic. And Spencer's, give me free things. You're
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's how it works.
That's how it
right?
works,
You
right?
have
Just
to
have a
ask.
show and
Yeah,
ask.
Yeah. So let's wrap it up on comics and just address some questions from
Sure.
our Twitter. Paul Cree wanted to know, what do you think of the rumor Charlie Cox will be in Civil War as Matt Murdock in a courtroom cameo?
That's the first rumor I've heard of that.
That's the first time I've heard that too,
I haven't even
actually.
heard that there's a courtroom cameo. I've not heard of anything in a courtroom. There's a funeral rumor. I've not heard.
I haven't heard that, but I think that would be cool. I would like
but
to see that.
there's no.
I'm game for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm game for it, but I don't think there's any truth to that at all. So.
I'm not going to say truth or false. I'm just going to say, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Pretty cool. I haven't heard the rumor,
Yeah.
so. Trini Bad Boy at rated PG 72. Wow.
Wow.
Parental
Okay.
guidance until you're 72.
Dang.
That is a long time to not know.
Some
what
of
to
us might
watch.
not even
Yeah.
live that long.
Wow, yeah. Who do you guys think should direct Black Panther? And are you worried about the date change due to Ant-Man and the Wasp? So, Black Panther, I don't think the date changed
I
on
think
Black Panther.
only Captain Marvel.
Yeah,
Captain
only-
Marvel got pushed
unless
back,
something
but I
changed
think
that
Black
we don't.
Panther is the same.
It didn't get a year pushback.
That-
I thought
Captain
it got
Marvel
moved.
getting
I thought,
pushed back.
if anything, I thought it got
I
moved
thought Black
up.
Panther moved forward, and then Captain Marvel got pushed
I think
back.
they
Yeah.
moved space like.
Yeah, that's it. I
So,
thought it just got
yeah.
moved up a couple months.
Oh, I thought it got moved back.
So
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it because
No.
it's still a couple years away.
Yeah,
for them
we have
to,
time.
We've got plenty of time to get
My
that
four
good.
directors would be F. Gary Gray, who just signed on Fast and Furious. That won't happen, but would have been amazing. Sam Mendes, because I've always pictured Black Panther like a James Bond character, and I think I enjoy Sam Mendes' Bond. I know there are disagreements in the room, but I think him doing a international man of espionage Black Panther would be amazing. That is the character to me. I like Steven Soderbergh. He retired from filmmaking and only does TV now, but he's an incredible director, and I think if Marvel opened their wallet a little, that'd be really cool to see him direct that. And then I've always wanted to see David Fincher direct a superhero movie, and I think a dark, gritty, psychological Seven, the Game-esque take
yeah.
on right, like
Wow.
Yeah.
early Fincher, like the Game.
Yeah.
I think like that version of Black Panther, where it's the political espionage trying to deal with like Wakanda and cultural rights and appropriation of vibranium and like all that stuff through the lens
I'm
of like a
sold.
Sorkin
Like,
dialogue
tickets
and
now?
Fincher.
Yeah.
I'll buy tickets.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would
Those
be
are
great.
those are my four
Okay.
pitches.
I would be. So Seven is one of my favorite films of all
Oh,
time.
me too. It's
amazing.
Like, yeah, it's
He's got
fantastic.
3 of my top 10 films, and that's the
Yeah.
only director that's even
Wow.
close.
I'm totally down with that. I would also like to see David Ayer, who did End of Watch.
I love
And-
David Ayer.
And if any,
That's-
I mean,
yeah.
except for that whole
That's-
Suicide
yeah.
Squad thing.
It
Yeah,
might be
it-
But
fantastic.
he,
Yeah, but Suicide Squad is
the Joker
airing
looks
next.
like the Joker. We're not going to talk about it.
But-
We're a
but
Marvel show. We're not going
He's
to talk about it.
done, but he did SWAT. He did Training Day, and U571.
Wait,
So
I thought Antoine Fuqua did Training Day.
he wrote Training Day.
I told
I'm
you
sorry.
it was
Wrote.
David
Yeah.
Ayer, and he came in and
Yeah.
I told you.
No,
I know my
she's
stuff.
saying wrote.
Yeah.
I'm saying we're talking about a director.
Okay, I'm
Touche,
sorry. I'm
touche.
sorry, but so he can write and or direct either.
He's incredible.
In fact, actually let him write Black Panther. Sometimes I'm more concerned who's going to write these stories
absolutely.
than direct
well, I
them.
think both
so
are very
yeah,
important, but David Ayer
Yeah.
also did Fury, which was so much better than it had any right to be.
yeah. So I'm down with either of those choices.
Okay. Do y'all have any choices or
I
anything you
think
want to
these
talk
are all
about?
excellent choices.
Yeah, you guys beat us to all the cool things.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no, that's good. That's good. I'm concerned about the movie, especially with all the different statements being made. And that's,
What?
I just don't like the statement that what's his name made. What's his name?
Well, I don't know what we're talking about.
Black Panther.
What is his name?
Well, I know we're talking about Black Panther,
Are you
but
talking about Anthony Mackie?
Yes. He needs to be
What
quiet for a while.
I love that statement. I totally agree with
No.
it. You don't need a horse to direct Seabiscuit.
You don't.
The director, the talent is what matters, in my opinion.
I agree with him on that. I agree the statement though was just very insensitive.
Do you want to recap the statement for our?
Well, I mean, he said
Yeah,
it. He said
yeah.
you don't need you don't need
The
a
horse
black-
didn't direct
Yeah,
Seabiscuit.
yeah.
I just think
So you don't need a black man to direct Black Panther.
Yeah,
A
I just
wizard
think-
didn't direct Harry Potter.
I think there's a better way to say it.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think the point
Yeah.
is valid. I think the
I
way
thi-
he said
Okay.
it was
I-
insensitive as
Okay.
to what was going
But we're
on.
so
Yeah.
sensitive as a culture. It's embarrassing. Like, I get so much on this show
then
because
we're
I
so
speak my
not
mind.
sensitive.
But like, it's just at what point we don't let our kids play on playgrounds anymore. They don't know what a skinned knee is, and we're getting that way emotionally. We're getting to the point where our kids are not going to know what it's like to feel hurt or upset or pain, or they're only going to know it in giant bursts like now. Like, we're getting these giant bursts of like, oh no, my feelings.
No, and I agree.
I like him.
I agree.
just so worried about people.
I agree that there's too much sensitivity in some areas and there's not enough sensitivity in other areas. Like there needs to be a balance. And I just think the week that he chose was kind of insensitive to
Sure.
some.
Yeah, I will say, as one of the like 3 not white people who have ever been on our show,
I'm honored.
I know, thank you. I try to get. We like to get more not white people on our show. Would you say that as long, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but would you just say as long as the person, whoever writes and directs it, is aware of things?
Yeah, I think
cultural awareness is what's important.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think again, talent is more important, and handling the subject is more important than having somebody black direct it. But I just think the way that he worded it, it irked me.
Fair enough.
And I'm not super sensitive about stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've never come across as. You don't live on Tumblr.
No, I'm not super sensitive, but for some reason, I think it was the week as well that just was like.
Did you see his comments on Superman?
No.
Okay, so while we're on Anthony Mackie, we can all agree on these comments. He went off in this reporter. He was like, "Oh, so he's like, you a Marvel DC guy?" And he's like, "What was the last DC movie you enjoyed?" And the reporter's like, "Oh, I love Man of Steel," and he was just like, "Well, don't say you like my movies then, because you have horrible taste in movies." And I was just like, and Anthony Mackie has this amazing ability to have like charm, even when he's like weirdly insulting, which is maybe why I didn't find him so insulting, because when I see Anthony Mackie, I'm like, cut the chick. Like, I'm just like, this guy, whatever he says, I'm in it. And I watched 8 Mile recently, and that's the boss battle. Eminem fights Anthony Mackie.
Wow.
The rap battle at the end is Anthony Mackie, and I'm just like, this guy can be no cooler. So I think maybe I just have a weakness for the Mac, but
maybe you do.
Maybe I do. But I think Anthony Mackie, I like that he's not. Him and Jeremy Renner, I think, are 2 actors that are almost ambassadors. Tom Hardy has this thing about ambassadors. There's actors and there's ambassadors. There's movie stars that have to speak a certain way because they're the forefront of a studio. They represent a thing. So I think these 2 guys are in amazing positions of being like this second-tier superhero where they can say all the things they want, but also not get in as much trouble. So I love that Anthony Mackie and Jeremy Renner are like, hey guys, the world's really PC. Why don't we just be people? And that's why I think it's a really interesting time to be. We're representing billion-dollar movies. These are giant industries. There's a huge amount of corporations, and we're watching every word we say. There's no truth anymore because everybody's so afraid.
No, but I feel like you again have the right to react, and that irked me.
That's why conversations are exciting.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I totally agree with your point, but you shouldn't have said it that way because it makes me want to smack you in the face.
Yeah,
we're talking about it. It works sometimes. It's creating conversation.
I think there's just a line where people, and obviously there's no one in this room that does it. I think people don't know when they don't understand. I'm personally offended by something. They think a whole group of people should be offended, and they don't know where to draw the line that, oh well, I'm offended, so everyone should be offended. And that's and I'm actually watching I'm watching something unfold on Tumblr and a greater social media in the Steven Universe fandom. There's a girl who tried to commit suicide who draws fan art, and some people say she was drawn a larger plus size character thinner, and people have bullied her for several years. She's tried to commit suicide now, and people are like, good, she should die because she's a fat, like she's anti-fat people, and she's albious, and it's really terrible. And watching all these people saying, oh, she deserves to kill herself because she hates fat people. I'm like, whoa, you're bullying. They're like, well, she, if I'm bullying someone who, like to the point they're like, she's the reason. This girl, who by the way is like maybe 20, she's the reason that we couldn't have a black president until 2008, and she's the reason. Like it's severe.
The internet's scary, you guys.
It's like so.
You can just be like, everybody has their own baggage that they need to bring, and you don't know. Like, people have trigger words and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean that person is horrible and should die.
Exactly. Like I'm literally been fascinated by this whole thing since I saw it last night on like the Daily Dot, and I'm like watching and to the point that I'm going to these people's like Twitters and Tumblrs and reading all their like weird like I'm just like, wow, this is a new level of the internet that I'm like I hope they turn on me. I hope I slip up and say something, because I'm just not gonna care. What are they gonna do when they react to someone that literally just, I'm like, okay, cool. That's nice.
I do not wish that on you.
What they do is they hunt down your personal information and show up at your door.
No, because it's not like
Show up at
Gamergate.
my door.
But that's still what Tumblr does.
But it's so weird to me that this exists out there. Anyway, sorry to derail the conversation. I'm just very fascinated that
Welcome
this
to our
exists.
geopolitical episode
Yeah.
of Marvel
Anyways,
Movies.
sorry.
right?
I'm very much into the whole like social area, and I just find this very fascinating because I like to think that I'm a cultured, intelligent individual, and then I meet people like this, and I'm like, yo, calm down and like have a conversation with this person. Don't bully them back, even if they are a racist POS. Like, legitimately, I lived in the South for five years. I've dealt with racism. I drove through Mississippi in 2004. When I went to go to the bathroom driving through on my way to Tennessee, like, literally, they said, oh, don't use that one. That's for the coloreds. And I was like, whoa, oh my God, I'm leaving. What is going on? Like, I encountered that in 2004. This exists. And then I see this happening on Tumblr. I'm like, you people have, that's privilege. That's privilege that you can even complain about someone drawing a plus-size character too thin for you. Anyway, sorry, I apologize.
No,
I'm done.
I think people need.
I'm done. I love comic books. I love everyone except for
All right,
crazy
so
people.
Let's close it with a quick little question.
I'm so sorry.
Let's bring the mood up.
Yeah.
Black Panther's gonna be great.
Would you like to see the Shadowland costume or storyline on Daredevil season 2? And that is from Jonathan Childress, and that'll be our last question, and then we'll
I
close it
will
out.
be very honest. I'm not familiar with that storyline at all.
I don't want to see it in season 2. Elements of it, perhaps, like with the hand and stuff like that, but I don't want to see like Daredevil become like this sort of like weird possessed god king of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
does not play for me with the character. There's so much mythos to build up to that. Sorry, I didn't.
No. I'm just thinking.
It's kind of like my Miles Morales thing, where
Yeah.
I think it's a legacy situation. I think that Daredevil needs to have gone through a lot before he even gets there, and that storyline doesn't translate personally. I think it's a cool story in the comics. I just don't think it works on Netflix.
Yeah. All right.
I think it's not time yet.
All right. So that is our show. We're gonna close it out. Do you guys have, as the guests, you talk first? Do you wanna? Is there anything you wanna talk about? Throw out there where people can find you?
Yeah, just come by Kamikaze. I have 7 panels, and I'm going to be on the fashion show, Walking for Living Dead Clothing. So come by and see that I will actually be clothed this year on stage.
Nice.
Last year I was Thor bikini.
Nice.
Is your panel schedule online that we
Yeah,
can
my
see?
panel schedule is online. If you follow me at Anastasia Wash on Instagram, there's a whole schedule, and there's all kinds of programming.
And I'm going to be on one of your
And
panels
you're going to be on Comics and
Sunday.
Comics and
Nice.
Cocktails.
And I'm going to be on one of your panels on
It's not
Sunday.
my panel. It's someone else's
well,
panel.
You're
but,
on
yeah.
it.
Yep.
You're at Kamikaze also? That's
I
why you're
am.
in town, yeah?
Yeah,
Great.
I came to hang out with Meredith and go to Kamikaze and
Great.
meet you wonderful people.
Thanks for being on our show.
I begged Megan to do a costume with me. I've
Yeah.
convinced her to do Age of Apocalypse Rogue. So,
Nice.
So
I'm-
obnoxious.
Yeah, it's really obnoxious. So she's doing Age of Apocalypse Rogue. I'm doing the new Age of Apocalypse Emma Frost from the Secret Wars run. So we'll be wearing those on Saturday.
Awesome.
Yes.
I'm lots of
I'm ready for
Yeah.
my ridiculous sleeves.
I'm pretty
bright
excited.
Pink collar.
I'm just gonna look like Emma Frost like I always do. And I've got a panel on Saturday that I'll be doing and 3 on Sunday. I've got the schedule. I'll post it online eventually. I'm really lame at making graphics. And I guess I'm interviewing Stanley on Friday.
Woo!
Oh,
Nice.
that's all.
That's not a bad
all.
thing.
Just God.
know.
Whatever.
You know.
It's for Stanley's Kids Universe or
That's
something.
awesome.
It's so cool.
Coy?
I have tonight, if you guys want to come out. Doors at
And live in
9:30,
LA.
shows at 11, and you live in LA, or want to get on a flight right now like a crazy person. We are doing Rocky Our Hipster Show. It sold out last night in 25 minutes. I'm insanely proud of this show. The crowd last night was incredible, and it's a really special show. If you like Rocky at all, if you like live theater and you can't find any good one, it's a really cool thing we're doing. And before I lose my soapbox to stand on, I think all opinions are really important, and I just want to express that my rants today, I don't want people to be mad, or I think that everything needs to be said. I just think it needs to be said in a way that is articulate and intelligent and not with any sort of like hate-minded bias. So if you want to have a thing to say to me or to anyone else, or have an opinion on anything, either do it with humor like Mackie but have a point behind it, or do something that proves your point and isn't just mean. So like thank you for letting me rant. Thank you for listening. And I think that these things are all important, and I think it's amazing we get to have a conversation that lends itself to Black Panther having a director one way or the other, because that means Black Panther has a movie. So congratulations, society, we have a Black Panther movie.
Yeah.
And I'm at Coy Jandreau.
Meredith?
Good night.
Oh, I'm at M. Placko, and again, I echo what Coy says, and I do get very political. I actually have a lot of thoughts. If I could have a show where I could soapbox, I think I'd be very happy. But that being said, going forward, I always say this to anyone who wants to sit there and be a armchair warrior on the internet. If you're going to sit there and put as much effort as to telling someone that they should kill themselves over their opinions, maybe channel that energy into doing something good. Go to your local food bank. Go, spend your time helping the homeless or an animal shelter, or tutoring, children. If you feel very strongly and passionately about something online, channel that energy to doing some good in your community, because, if you can raise 1,000 or 10,000 people to tweet at someone, be it someone who made a statement that maybe you disagree with online or on Tumblr or on Twitter, and maybe even if it is a truly ignorant and truly hateful statement, that's not going to go away just by that person dying or being eradicated from the world. The only real way those ideas are going to go away is by you going out there and changing them and you being the better person. So every day I do challenge people to go and do something good in this world. Don't be part of the problem, be part of the solution. And that's it, guys. I love you, and thank you for giving us 56 shows to come out and talk
sounds like
to
a season finale. Are
No,
we
it's
cut?
not.
Are we
I
off
know.
the air? Are
No.
we just getting
No,
over?
yeah.
No. That's it. No more
That's
shows.
it.
We just gotta...
We'll be back next week, and we'll wrap up from all the cool things we see at Kamikaze, and we'll have some really awesome news. And you can find me at M. Placko.
And I'm at the Mackie.
What was your rant today, Matt?
No.
I don't have a rant. There was no Doctor
Just
Strange
the happiest
news.
guy.
I'm just a happy guy. I will say, going on back on the Black Panther thing, I wish that they wouldn't. I wish that there wasn't we've got to get a female director for Captain Marvel. We've got to get a black director for Black Panther.
Right.
No, you don't. Just get female directors and black directors and let them do whatever
It's a
freaking moves they want
bigger
to do.
version of the Tilda Swinton issue, in my opinion. I think she's going to be a great Ancient One, and she's not what we perceive from the comics. I think as long as the talent is there, which it clearly is, Tilda Swinton's amazing, then you go by talent. When you cast by what you're good at, not by
Agreed.
It seems like there's almost this strange, almost reverse racism or something like that. It's about a black man, so a black man should direct it.
It's very Hollywood. I grew up out here. You had to have these token things. You're already defined by what you are.
Exactly. So that would be
nice.
I just want to see something amazing
my
about
thing.
it. I just want to see that character be the character he is, because that character is incredible and has such a rich history and is so important to the politics of comics and the Marvel Universe in itself. It's got a meta-ness where it matters and matters and matters. So it needs to be done well, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree. But I along those same lines, I want them to see. I want to see them get the culture of Africa
right. Absolutely.
That's
what I mean. It matters.
If that makes a black man the best man for the job, or a black woman the best, do that. That's awesome. But don't make that your goal. Don't set out they've got to be
a really good Black Panther movie.
So anyway, I don't have a rant. I just kind of.
I think people weren't that concerned about Blade, right? So
So
why are we so concerned right now?
And you can find me at the Matt Key. So anyway, that's our show. Join us next week. You can find us on iTunes, Marvel Movie News. Rate us, leave us a comment. YouTube through the Popcorn Talk Network. You can find us on Facebook / Marvel News Show, or you can find us on Twitter at Marvel News PTN. That's our show.
And if you're at Kamikaze, come say hi.
Yeah, Kamikaze Los Angeles.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Christian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of its owners or principals.